Hi everyone and welcome to NCHC Between the Boards and Happy New Year to all of you. I'm Greg Ankers. Coming up on tonight's show, we recap 16 games involving NCHC teams over the holiday period. We'll let you get to know a North Dakota player who showcased a highlight of the year candidate play from this past weekend. And we'll look ahead to some big NCHC games as league play resumes for some teams starting tonight. Before we get to all of that, though, we need to turn back the calendar to 2015 and get you caught up on all the games that took place before 2016 began, including a series against Arizona State at Omaha, the Mavericks' final games before the holiday break, as the Mavs look to finish out the first half of the season undefeated at home and finish with a perfect non-conference record as well. Omaha would flex its muscle on the power play in this one midway through the first with the man advantage. Tyler Vessel feeding Luke Snuggerud. Snuggerud buries it on the second opportunity as Omaha takes a 1-0 lead. Less than a minute later, though, Arizona State would answer at the other end. Jordan Masters from behind the net goes backhand top shelf, beating Evan Wenninger to tie things up at a goal apiece. But late in the period, Omaha back on the power play. And folks, you cannot give Austin Ortega that much time and space. He'll beat you every time. Mavericks lead at 2-1 after one. That score would hold all the way into the third. Omaha back on the power play, and Ortega wants to set somebody up, but decides to go ahead and score anyway. Omaha goes on to win the opener 3-1 thanks to 3 power play goals. Ortega with 2 on the night, and Vessel with 3 assists in the victory. What would that set up on Saturday night? Well, in the first, late in the period of a scoreless game, great effort here by Jake Randolph. From his knees, feeds Tyler Vessel for the goal as Omaha takes a 1-0 lead after one. Then just a minute 11 into the second, Omaha back on the attack, and it's Randolph again, leaving it for Vessel. Justin Parizek, though, with the rebound goal to make it 2-0 Mavericks. Later in the period, Mavericks clanking shots off the post, and Austin Ortega will clank one in of his own to make it 3-0 Omaha. Then late in the period, Randolph off the turnover feeds Justin Parizek for the one-timer. Omaha goes on to win 6-0 as they get the sweep. Ortega with 2 more goals, Randolph with 3 more assists as Omaha goes into the break the way they want.
We came out and played all 3 periods last night. The second, we weren't as strong as we were the first and third, so we played a full 60, and it obviously showed 6-0. So we played hard, and it only gets harder when we get back, so we got to enjoy this time at home before we come back.
Colorado College also in action, looking to wrap up its first half of the season on a positive note at Alabama Huntsville. Middle of the first, off the face-off, quick release by Hunter Fegis, giving the Tigers a 1-0 lead. It'd be 1-1 going into the second. Late in the period, as a power play expires, Matt Hansen ripping the one-timer here to put CC out in front 2-1. 44 seconds after that, CC not done in the period. A 2-on-1 here leads to a Hunter Fegis shot that bounces in off a defenseman and over the goaltender for a 3-1 lead. Then in the third, CC adds to it again off the face-off. Luke Gertis finds just enough space to shoot and score here for a 4-1 Tigers lead. Couple minutes after that, Luke Gertis breaking in. Sam Rothstein with the rebound goal to make it 5-1. CC goes on to win the opener in this series, winning it by a final of 5-2. Fegis and Gertis with 3 points each in the win. So in game number 2 of this series, scoreless after one, but 19 seconds into the second, Sam Rothstein deflects it in. A big shot from the point from Timo Kivihalmi. That makes it 1-0 CC. Later in the period, Alabama Huntsville gets on the board. Adam Wilcox with the power play goal here. Screen in front of Jacob Nahama. I don't think he ever saw that one. Ties it up at 1. Then in the third, down 2-1 off the faceoff. Matt Hansen off the top of the cage. Alabama Huntsville hangs on to win 2-1. Nahama with 31 saves in the losing effort. And in the final NCHC game of 2015, Western Michigan blanks Bowling Green 1-0. 35 saves for Lucas Hafner playing in his hometown of Toledo, Ohio. Plenty of family and friends on hand. Nolan Laporte with the goal for Western Michigan. Next on the docket, we turn the calendar to 2016 and recap all the games from this past weekend. That's next on NCHC Between the Boards. Welcome back. Jim Montgomery and Denver had a lot to chew on over the holidays. Entering their series against Notre Dame, the Pioneers had just one win in their last 7 contests, but a new year could mean a new beginning. And on this New Year's Day night, Denver goaltender Tanner Gillette with a Save of the Year candidate right out of the gate. Look at him snatch it out of midair. Notre Dame thought for sure they had a goal here. Look at how wide open the net is as we take another look, but Gillette with the sweet glove save, keeping Notre Dame off the board there. But Denver would trail this one 1-0 in the third when Trevor Moore goes to work, somehow sneaking this one by everybody as this one ends in a 1-1 draw. Denver with 50 shots on goal, Gillette with 26 saves to preserve the tie. Could we get a winner in Game 2 of the series? In the first, no score until Notre Dame's Thomas DePauli carries up ice, finds another gear, and goes top shelf to beat Gillette there for a 1-0 Notre Dame lead. In the second, Denver working on a power play. Trevor Moore with the initial shot skating in. Dylan Gambrell cleans it up as this one is tied up at 1 apiece going into the third. In the third period, Denver grabs the lead, sweet give and go. Trevor Moore feeding Dylan Gambrell in the slot. Gambrell's second makes it 2-1 Pioneers, but with seconds left in regulation, Notre Dame on the power play, and Sam Herr goes backhand out in front for the rebound goal as this one ends in a 2-2 tie. Denver with 45 more shots on goal. They had 95 in the series as both games end in a draw.
We know we're on the right trajectory and we're doing the right things, but we got to start coming away with some positive results here. And there's been too many games this year that have reminded me of the Providence game, where we're the better team, but we're not coming up with the results.
North Dakota playing host to Alabama Huntsville. Cam Johnson entering this series with a historic opportunity on a shutout streak. He'd get some help from his offense midway through the second on a 2-man advantage as it just expires. Bryn Chiswick with the goal to make it 1-0, and then Cam Johnson put to the test late in the third by Huntsville, makes the kick save there. Then off of an uncharacteristic Drake Caggiula turnover, Cam Johnson comes up big once again. He breaks the school and NCHC record for scoreless streak in this one as North Dakota goes on to win the opener. 1-0 would be the final. Cam Johnson with 19 saves in the winning effort in the series opener. How would the series cap off? Well, 25 seconds into the first, we'd have an indication. Paul Ledoux with a blast from the point gives North Dakota a 1-0 lead. It'd be 1-1 in the second when Drake Caggiula goes to work, short-handed, just undresses the defenseman, then beats the goaltender for a 2-1 North Dakota lead. This might be one of Caggiula's best pieces of work, beating the defenseman, then going in and knocking it in off of the goaltender. That would make it a 2-1 UND lead. In the third, North Dakota puts a cap on it on the 3-on-1. Tucker Poolman with the goal to make it 4-1. Caggiula reflecting on his sensational goal afterwards.
Stetch made a great play, just chipping it off the glass, and yeah, he had a good touch on it and was able to get it right to me, streaking for a bit of a half breakaway there. And I originally planned on shooting the puck far side, but the D-man kind of planted his feet, and I thought I could maybe make a move around him. And fortunately for me, it worked out, and I was able to slide it home.
We've got more highlights from this past weekend ahead, plus players of the week, players of the month, and much more is straight ahead. The Redhawks jumped back into action this past weekend after having nearly a month off away from game play, and the team hoping for a fresh start, having won just 2 of their last 11 contests entering their holiday break as Miami played host to RPI. And Miami would get off to a quick start in this one, just a minute 20 in. Jack Roslovic with the initial shot here. Josh Melnick all alone down low. He cashes in to give Miami a 1-0 lead. It'd be tied 1-1 in the second. Here come the Engineers. Riley Bourbonnais skating in, gets by everybody and goes over the glove of Ryan McKay to give RPI a 2-1 lead. Later in the period, Miami answers back, though. Anthony Lewis sliding one across to Jack Roslovic, and he scores there to make it a 2-all game. Then later in the second, RPI gets back out in front. Kenny Gillespie with the goal here as RPI goes on to win by the final of 3-2. And Miami not able to cash in on 3 power play opportunities in the loss. Could Miami respond on night number 2? Well, they'd get an early strike again. This one 2-0-1 in as Devin Lowe with the initial shot and Andrew Schmidt cleans up with the rebound there for a 1-0 Redhawks lead. It'd be tied 1-1 again into the second. RPI skating short-handed and Jake Wood scoring there to give RPI another 2-1 lead. But in the third, Miami starts to get dialed in. Sean Corrali with the shot there, cleaned up by Alex Gasick. Again, we're tied at 2 apiece. Later in the third, Miami takes the lead for good. Kiefer Sherwood to Justin Greenberg as Miami goes on to win 3-2. They go on to win 4-2 as Miami gets the split.
Once the third period started and we started to get a little bit of momentum and we got all lines going in the right direction, the same direction going north, we felt like we were starting to get the momentum. And when you're playing with that momentum, it's tough to play against.
St. Cloud State opening up the new year, hosting Arizona State, trailing 1-0 in the first, but Huskies need not be worried. Ethan Prow beating the defense, shooting and scoring there to tie things up at 1 apiece. Then before the first period expires, Jimmy Murray going to get a goal here to put the Huskies out in front 2-1 after 1 in the second. St. Cloud State goes to work on a power play just 2.5 minutes in. Kali Kosala setting up Ethan Prow for the one-timer here up top as the Huskies grab a 3-1 lead. Then midway through the period, pressure on the ASU goaltender, and Judd Peterson eventually gets the backhander there to make it 4-1 St. Cloud State. They roll 6-1 thanks to Prow's 2 goals. Charlie Lindgren had 23 saves in the victory. In the series finale then on Saturday, St. Cloud State flexing some muscle on the power play here and some great puck movement as Patrick Russell gets the goal to give St. Cloud State the early 1-0 advantage. Later in the period, another man advantage for St. Cloud State. This one, Jimmy Schultz with a rocket from up top, giving St. Cloud a 2-0 lead after 1. In the second period, midway through, Judd Peterson gets credit for staying with this one. Eventually declared a goal as St. Cloud State builds a 3-0 lead. Then later in the period, Patrick Russell skating in, and he will go with the wraparound for a 5-0 advantage. St. Cloud State rolls 7-0. Lindgren with 29 saves, and the shutout as St. Cloud State starts off the new year the right way.
I think the biggest thing is we were moving the puck well, and just everyone, we were making them kind of run around, and we were spacing all the guys out in the zone a little bit. So I mean, when we were moving it quick and thinking fast, and that's when we're at our best.
In exhibition action this past weekend, number 19th Minnesota Duluth struggled to knock off the USA under-18 squad, winning 4-3 in overtime. Dominic Toninato had 2 goals for the Bulldogs in that one. Omaha played host to Trinity Western in exhibition play. The Mavericks getting 6 different goal scorers on the score sheet as they blanked Trinity Western 6-0. Kirk Thompson and Evan Wenninger combined for 10 saves in the shutout. And the USA under-18 team proved to be too tall of a task for St. Cloud State as they upset the Huskies in exhibition play 7-6 in overtime. Blake Winicki had a hat trick in the losing effort for St. Cloud State. Players of the week look like this. Offensive honors go to Austin Ortega. The junior from Omaha had 4 goals and an assist in their last action against Arizona State. And also having a successful weekend against the Sun Devils was defenseman Nicholas Nevalainen. The junior from St. Cloud State takes home Defensive Player of the Week honors for a goal and 4 assists and a +4 rating against the Sun Devils. Rookie honors go to Dylan Gambrill. Forward from Denver had 2 goals and an assist versus Notre Dame. He now leads the Pioneers in scoring. And goaltender honors go to Lucas Hafner, the senior from Western Michigan, who had a shutout on 35 saves in his only action against Bowling Green. Players of the month for December are Cam Johnson gets the Player of the Month. The sophomore goaltender from North Dakota had a stellar month. 4-0-0 on the month, including 3 shutouts and a microscopic 0.25 goals against average and a .992 save percentage. Rookie honors for the month go to Griffin Molino, forward from Western Michigan. He had 3 goals and 5 assists in 5 games for the month and a +7 rating as well. Congratulations to 4 NCHC players who participated at the World Juniors Championships in Helsinki, Finland. Congrats go out to St. Cloud State defenseman Will Borgen, Miami defenseman Louis Belpedio, and UND forwards Nick Schmaltz and Brock Besser as they lead Team USA to a bronze medal. Schmaltz led the way with 2 goals and 6 assists over 7 games at the tournament. The polls look like this week. USCHO.com poll, North Dakota has climbed up to the #1 spot, receiving 36 of 50 first-place votes. They're followed by St. Cloud State, Omaha, Denver, and Minnesota Duluth. The USA Today poll looks a little different. North Dakota holds steady at #2, followed by St. Cloud State and Omaha at 5 and 6. There's no change to the conference standings this week, as we'll preview some league games coming up in just a bit. But next, he dazzled the country with his latest goal this past weekend as we get to know a little bit more about UND senior forward Drake Caggiula. He's become a human highlight reel for the University of North Dakota, but there's much more than just sensational plays to this senior forward as we get to know Drake Caggiula a little bit more.
We're here with Drake Caggiula, going to have a little conversation, a little get to know. We haven't done this in a while. So Drake, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about your path to UND and the choice you made to come here.
I guess it all started back in the World Junior times when Jonathan Taves played there for Team Canada, and growing up in Canada, the World Juniors is a big thing, so I just watched him and I wanted to know where he played, and found out it was North Dakota and looked up the school, and I said if I could ever play college hockey, that's the place I want to go, and luckily for me it worked out.
Who recruited you?
Kerry Eads started, and then it moved on to Jackson, and then Coach Hackstall kind of finished it off.
What do you say would be the biggest trait about your style of game?
Just playing with energy and just being that fast-paced kind of player, and it kind of sets me apart from other people. A lot of people have a lot of skill, a lot of people have a lot of size, but I try to mix those in, but play with a lot of pace and a lot of speed and tenacity.
What do you say to kids that dream big, like coming to UND just like you did when you were little? Parents get so wrapped up in this day and age. Mm-hmm. Did you just play and have fun? When did it start to become serious? And what's your advice to those kids?
Obviously, the younger I was, the more it was about fun and just kind of going out there and enjoying the game. But as I got older and older, it became more of a business approach, and you want to follow your dreams and do all that sort of stuff. So, growing up in Canada, I wanted to get drafted to the OHL, and that started at 15, and that's kind of when the age of hockey started to get really serious for me. And then once I decided to go to college, it was I'd already had that business approach of, trying to follow my dreams and chase after my goals. And so the older I got, the more it became more of a business and something I wanted to chase after more than just going out there and having a fun time.
Would you say, though, that was definitely driven by you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously.
I mean, my parents had always been there to support me with whatever decision I wanted to make. And that's the biggest thing you can ask for, especially as a young kid, making choices on your own. Just have your parents there to support you. And luckily for me, my parents did a great job supporting me, and I was able to make the choices I wanted.
Talk about a fun hockey memory you have and moment. What's been one of the tops for you in this game?
I don't know. Obviously, Frozen Four appearances and stuff like that, and playing at my dream school since I was 12 years old. But my team, when I was 8 years old, we won all of Ontario's, and then we won it again when we were 10. So it was it was a pretty big experience for us. It's probably
little squirts out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Winning championships.
Exactly, winning championships, and my team growing up my minor hockey team growing up was really good, and we won a lot of championships, and I made a lot of friends that I still talk to today. Some have played on the NHL already, and some are playing in college, some are playing in the OHL, so it's pretty cool to see that.
How would your teammates describe you on and off the ice, personality-wise?
On the ice, I would say tenacious, hard-nosed, fast, and stuff like that. Off the ice, happy-go-lucky, messing around. I don't take anything too serious, but when it does come time to be serious, right before a game, I can turn that switch on. But for the most part, I like to just have fun and just be myself.
What does turning that switch on look like? Like a routine, preparation, any superstitions?
Yeah, I have a couple superstitions. I do the same routine or same warm-up routine every day on game day. I start at the same time. I start at 68 when it's on the clock, and I go from there. And I do the same thing, and then at about 54, I start listening to the same 4 songs in a row, and I don't know why, I just do that.
What are they?
I can't tell you. That's a secret, sorry. But
That's all right.
so I got these 4 songs I listen to in certain sequence, and start getting dressed around 48 and go out for warm-up and continue listening to those 4 songs after warm-up, and that's about it.
How about finally just a quick description of this team? What makes this team special?
I think just how close we are. It's we had 11 freshmen coming in this summer, and the big thing was make sure we're getting them in on our pace and stuff like that. And I think we did a great job this summer, and it's translated to this season. And we're just a very tight-knit group that cares a lot about each other, and it's paying off for us.
All right, well, good luck with the rest of the season. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Still to come on the program, a preview of this weekend's game, including a big one in the race for the NCHC crown. That's next as you watch NCHC Between the Boards. Welcome back. The race for the Penrose Cup heats up this weekend as 17th-ranked Denver visits 6th-ranked Omaha in a pivotal series in the race in the NCHC. There's a couple other key NCHC series going on this weekend, including Colorado College at number 4 St. Cloud State, while number 19 Minnesota Duluth is at Miami. In non-conference action, Western Michigan is at number 15 Notre Dame, and in exhibition play, the ever-dangerous USA Under-18 team visits number 1 North Dakota in Grand Forks. We'll recap all of those games and have much more for you next week right here on NCHC Between the Boards. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the games, everybody.